All right, good morning. Happy Thursday and welcome to Paid. I am so excited to have with me I don't even know, like after I read her resume, I felt really intimidated and I've known her for 15 years, but welcome Mariah Lewis and Chaco.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Thanks for
We
having
have
me.
just a couple more minutes before 11 o'clock, but I always like to jump on a few minutes early for those that are on. If you're on and watching, leave a little emoji. I don't care what it is, a thumbs up, a heart, a smile, a middle finger. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that.
Floating head.
Yeah. But say hello. Let us know you're here. I'm so excited to have Mariah here today. Like I said, we've known each other for 15 years. Our kids, our sons went to school together, starting in preschool, and her son Finn is Turtle's basically his brother from another mother. And before we get into like the nuts and bolts of this, I thought I'd give you guys a little slideshow of how long our kids have known each other. And I got permission from my son. I didn't get permission from Finn, but that's okay. He'll never see this because Facebook's for old people.
It is for old people.
So this is my son on the left and little Finny on the right when they were little tiny nuggets. I have pictures before this, but that's them. And then this is them when they were going on their 6th grade trip at Faith. And this next one's pretty funny. This is the kind of crazy stuff they do when they're with me. Mariah didn't even know about this picture.
I did not, but it's fitting considering my son's in the
Well,
kid
she
seat.
thought it was fitting that her son was in the shopping cart. And I thought to myself, well, usually Finn has the ideas and Jay's not smart enough to say no. Then we've got Finn and Jay going on the family quail hunt. And this is when my son wrecked the Jeep. And when they got home,
Finn crashed the motorcycle.
But like a good brother, I walk in the garage and the first thing Finn says is, "Did you know Turtle crashed the Jeep?" And I was like, "What? No." So they've been through lots of things together. And then I thought I would show you my favorite family member of Mariah's, Chaco, when he was all dressed up for EDC.
He's ready for EDC. He had his color bracelet on for his necklace and
his little iridescent dolphin keychain charm, and he was ready to go.
He was pre-gaming.
Yeah, he was like tailgating. So I just thought I'd give you guys a little fun family background on how long we've known each other. And then also another fun story real quick while we're waiting for a few more people to jump on. So like I said, we've known their family for forever. And one of the funny stories is we love to go to the lake. That's where I'm going to be this weekend. And, Finn is maybe 3, 4. And we said, hey, because we have an only child, we're always looking for a friend for Turtle to do stuff with. We said, hey, Mariah, is it okay if Finn comes to the lake with us? And she's like, yeah, okay. We're just going to Lake Mead for the day. And we pull up, and at the time we had a jet boat. And I'll never forget Andre coming outside and seeing this jet boat with this giant motor. And he was like, okay, we're going to take your son skydiving next week. You're cool with that, right?
Yeah, it wasn't a pontoon.
Yeah, it was not a nice family boat, but
I think we did a life preserver check.
Yeah, we had life jackets, and I can't believe it, but we haven't hurt Finny yet, and he's a wild maniac at the lake on the tube edge.
Yeah, I think he hurts himself fine. I don't think he needs any help. However, I have your son. We don't need to go into detail on that one, but
so
I'm forgiven.
Yeah, no, you were forgiven for the treadmill accident that Turtle had and all the good days. So Yeah, to say that we love you guys is an understatement. We love Andre. When we first met, if Ozark had been a show,
yeah,
when they were going to KinderCare, I would have thought that he was like one of them, because when we first saw Andre, he would pull up in like this super slick Porsche and walk out, and I was like, man, he looks like a Colombian drug lord. Like, you can't really tell his ethnicity, but I thought for sure he had like so much swagger, and he's like real quiet, mysterious, and
yeah.
and
Yeah, you're not the only one. I think we've had a neighbor ask that. We've had art dealer. We've had
yeah. So, and then to just find out you guys are just normal, regular people like us, just way cooler.
Probably
so,
a lot.
All right, we're gonna get into our interview now that I've told you that I think your husband's a Colombian drug lord. We tried to kill your son on a jet boat. My son's wrecked a Jeep with him in it. So it's a great family. Great family show today. I'm going to start you guys with Mariah's bio, because like I said in the very, very beginning, for as long as I've known Mariah, and I apologize, I think my landscaper's here early because he's starting the holiday weekend early.
Yeah.
But I've known Mariah for forever, and I thought I knew a lot about her professionally, but clearly I had no idea. When I read this bio, I was blown away. So Mariah has a unique blend of retail development, business operations, and creative programming expertise that spans 20 years. Mariah attributes much of her success to the sheer will, perseverance, and strong work ethic instilled in her by her parents. Her father was an accomplished sales director and often included Mariah in on discussions about the family business and understanding the value of hard work. And before I go any further, I can say that I think she's done the same with her children. Gray, I think, knows a lot and is included. Finn, I know, and Wolfie's still too little, but I'm sure he's growing up through it just the same as they did. So I think that's really, really cool that you've continued to pass that down to them, because I know in talking with Finn, he's very much, he's very proud of you guys, of you and Andre, and he speaks very highly, and it's just really cool. After graduating from high school, Mariah attended UNLV, where she pursued a degree in institutional business management. While still in school, Mariah began to work in retail sales at the MGM Grand Hotel. She was quickly identified as a top performer in the area of retail sales and product merchandising. Later, with an eye on the future, she took an assistant buyer's position with Bianca of Nevada, at the time the largest privately owned retail corporation in the Southwest United States, operating more than 15 stores in California and Nevada. It was while working at Bianca that Mariah's talent blossomed and grew. During her tenure at Bianca, Mariah was responsible for the buying, product development, inventory management, creative services, visual merchandising, brand finance, and operations for many of the company's brands. She played an integral part in the company's early growth. While forging this path, Mariah was later hired by Elaine Wynn to oversee the operations and management of the Salon Privé at the Bellagio Hotel and Casino. Sometime later, Mariah was approached by a headhunter that said she'd been identified as someone her client wanted to meet for the purpose of discussing her involvement in the salon and spa startup company called Euphoria Salons. Anybody who lives in Las Vegas has heard of Elaine Wynn and Euphoria Salons. Like, these are just big deals here. Mariah later joined Euphoria as a director of sales and corporate development. When Mariah came on board, Euphoria had 3 locations in Las Vegas. Through her critical decision-making and day-to-day involvement, she quickly increased profits in her division by 65% and helped spark the growth of an additional 12 stores during her tenure. As a young mom, Mariah decided to take some time off to be with her small children and explore life as a wife and mother. God bless you. It was during this period that she recognized the absence of a quality, approachable, well-designed kids' clothing store in her city. Aware of the void in the marketplace, Mariah struck out to create her first of many boutiques, Candy Elephant, clothing for kids. The store was an immediate success and was frequented by many celebrities, local tastemakers, and garnered national media attention. Today, Mariah is the current owner of R&D Emporium, located in Boca Park, Summerlin, Nevada. The store is a local must-go-there experience with a unique assortment of clever lifestyle products and women's, men's, and children's ready-to-wear. Some of the lines she carries include Mother Denim, Chaser, Pam and Gala, One Teaspoon, Rails, Spiritual Gangster. Did I get that right?
It's okay. Gila.
Gila. Okay, obviously I don't wear that brand. DL 1961, Lauren Moshi, and many more. Right now, Mariah has a whole lot on her plate, but when she's not so consumed with work, she does enjoy traveling, practicing yoga, and spending time with her family. So with that impressive resume, I am now going to ask some questions.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, and speaking of Mother Denim, yep. I had never heard of Mother Denim. I knew your typical name brands that you would see it. Well, what I thought were name, I mean, they are name brands, but I knew Paige, I knew Hudson, I knew those. And Mariah knows that I used to be, you know, like 70-ish pounds heavier than I am now. And so my goal was always to be able to fit into the luxury denim. So as I lost weight, I bought luxury denim, and I thought that it was insane that I was spending, you know, $110 on a pair of jeans. Well, I was not blessed with any type of posterior, you know, butt, let's just say. So one day when I was in her store, she was like, "Here, try on these jeans." Like, and I was like, okay. Yeah. And I did, and I was like, "Oh my God, I have a butt. Like, these are the best things ever." And then I looked at the price tag and I almost fell over. But I'll tell you,
much less than a butt implant.
Well, it is cheaper than a butt implant. And so now I was like, these are the mother of all denim. Yeah. And so she introduced me to that, and it was love at first try on. And so I have to credit you for always making me step outside my comfort zone and outside my budget. And then having to tell my husband, it's okay. It's okay. Mariah just gave these to me. It was a gift.
Well, so you're just keeping the local economy stimulated.
Duh. So when did you decide, okay, so you talked about, as you know, as a young mother, you know, you recognized a need for a children's boutique. But when did you decide, okay, I'm ready to break away from the corporate side and I'm going to start what eventually was to become your retail empire? Because you had Candy Elephant, you had Ender Gray, you've had R&D, and, you know, when did you decide, okay, I'm ready to do this? I mean, because it takes a lot of guts to go out and do that.
Yeah, it was, had I not had my second child, I probably wouldn't have had the guts. Well, actually, I can say that, but it did help kind of catapult me into a different direction. I'm not one to take time off. I've always worked. I've worked since I was 16 and I've never stopped. But having a child and understanding, especially after having two, the importance of that downtime and bonding and being home and just taking a break. It really gave me time to kind of step away and realize that, you know, as much as I enjoyed what I was doing, you know, it was always something that I felt like, you know, I put so much into it, and I didn't necessarily reap the benefit that I wanted. You know, I'm either all in or it's not for me. And I was always very much involved in any company I ever worked with, and to an advantage and a disadvantage. And I realized that, you know, if I'm going to be taking that amount of time and energy away from my family, it better be something that's going to benefit me.
I understand.
And so, and also my husband telling me that I could, you know, had he not done that and supported me so much, I probably wouldn't have been able to make the transition. But, you know, I had all the tools. You know, he kind of just laid it out for me and was like, you've done this, you've done that, you've done that. Why can't you? You know, and, you know, it was like, you know, a big eye opener. And I thought, well, I guess I can. And then if I can't, then I tried, you know, and so it was scary, but well worth it. Well worth it. and it's given, my kids a sense of what it takes to be a business owner and the importance of hard work, like you were saying, and just a day-to-day grind,
Yeah.
which is a lot. But at the same time, it's very rewarding because, you can look back and say, I did this, and
Mm-hmm.
with my sacrifices and my hard work, these things all happened. And
Yeah.
it's a good feeling, it's a good feeling. It also, it's always a scary thing when you work for a large corporation um, and I didn't have that off switch of like, oh, this is what my job description is, and this is what I should be doing, and nothing outside of this really should concern me. I didn't have that ability to kind of keep myself within that bubble.
You have no control. You have
No.
no control really of anything.
Yeah, I would find myself, overstepping to try and make changes and improve things that, no matter how hard I tried or how many ideas I had, it kind of wasn't necessarily gonna working for someone
Yeah.
else. So, but I learned a lot. I learned a lot when I worked at Euphoria.
Mm-hmm.
They were very good to me, and taught me a lot of my operational um,
Mm-hmm.
um, foundation. So that's really what got me to the next step of just knowing how small businesses operate and how you wear many hats. And when things don't work the way you thought they were going to work out, you figure it out.
Yep.
And that's definitely the key. And that's how parenting is, so it's really applicable in both areas. It's, things don't always happen the way they should.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as you want everything to be, systematic and organized, you can only do so much. It's how you react,
It's how, first of all, I love that you said, having Andre believe in you and just showing you was enough, because sometimes we don't believe in ourselves enough. We need someone else to give us that validation. And there's no one else better to hear that from than our spouse. And Jay and I have that a lot.
Yeah.
So that I love hearing. And then I like how you equate it to parenting, because I expected, my son to be born and he would have this personality and he would act this way and he would do these things. And by golly, if he's none of it.
Yeah.
And so I just have to roll with the punches and figure it out as I go. Right.
Yeah.
And isn't that the way it is in business? You expect that if you do A, B, and C, you should get D as the result. And I do A, B, and C, and I get a pineapple. And I'm like, where did that come from?
Yeah. It's
so
you have to work with it. You work with it. This whole pandemic is a part of that too. It's, if I have to say there's one thing that's helped me get through it, is the fact that I've had so many ups and downs with owning my own business, that, I've been in tough spots. So not to say that this is tough. It's very tough.
This was probably the toughest, but you know how to roll with the punches. Like this isn't your first.
Yeah. I've been up against it, and I've had some challenging times, and, knowing that it's temporary is really good to know. And I'm blessed with the fact that I can do what I love to do, and I good and bad. And unfortunately, during this time, owning my own business necessarily, some would say wasn't good, but like you got to take the good with the bad. It was, did I get to attend a lot of functions and kind of pivotal points in my family's lives, because I can make my own schedule and I can work around it. Yes. So it's it's give and take. You really have to have you have to be resilient. You have to be resilient.
So who were your very first customers? And how did you advertise your business? Because like we were talking before, social media wasn't, every day I find myself, I don't feel old, but when I start putting things in perspective, I'm like, man, I'm starting to sound a whole heck of a lot like my mom. But there wasn't social media. So how, like now you start a business, you advertise on social media. It's just,
Yeah.
there wasn't social media. So how did you advertise Candy Elephant? How did people know about these stores?
You know, Vegas is interesting because I feel like, you know, is there 2 million people in this town? Yes.
It's a big city, but it's a small town.
It's a small town. And, you know, and I was lucky in the sense that it wasn't a saturated market. You know what I mean? As far as, I mean, you had the Fashion Show Mall, which did have some kids, you know, clothing stores. You know, you had Bratz back in the day. I used to work there. Really cute store, the Fashion Show Mall, which also is on Kids Castle, same owner, at the Forum Shops. But there was nothing local. There really wasn't anything local for people to go to. And I saw a need, you know, I saw a need for it. I you know, there were so many young moms at the time that, and because online shopping wasn't necessarily, you know, taking off either, it was a community thing. It was more like, you know, friends of friends and people I know, and, you know, and, you know, my children's, the kids they go to school with.
You had the perfect little model.
I had the perfect, and I definitely dressed him up more than he probably would have liked me to. But it was fun. It was great. I mean, he was always kind of down. I mean, he's got that side to him still. You know,
he's like, oh, whatever.
He likes fashion, so I'm sure that all those dress up days affected him.
It was so funny because I remember seeing Finn in like these super, like way cooler clothes than anybody else. And
the first kid that ever wore skinny jeans to school.
Yeah. And so then I'd be like, all right, like I'm going to go get some of these clothes. But the way Finn wore them and the way Turtle wore them, two totally different styles. Finn's like, he's got like kind of this grungy, like, you know, and Turtles are ironed with a crease.
He had his initials embroidered, I think, in a couple.
He monogrammed, of course. He was GQJ, okay? That's what all the kids in our preschool had nicknames. There was Straight Jacket Jack, where they had to put his jacket on backwards and zip it up because he wouldn't keep it on outside. There was GQJ because his onesies had little creases in them.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So, but I always remember like Finn was just like cool. He was like this cool, hip little kid.
That's cool. I liked when he let me do more with his aesthetic. Nowadays it's totally off limits, but yeah.
Yeah. And my son is like even when I would buy things from R&D, I couldn't tell him that I bought them from R&D because he'd be like, no. But then he would wear them if he didn't know. And Finn gives me
first joggers came from R&D.
Yes, and now that's all he wears are joggers. Well, everything's a jogger on him at his height.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
And Finn is always, do you only shop at my mom's store? Because I'll be wearing a shirt or something. I'm like, shut up. You should say thank you. That bought your Taco Bell, you little brat.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't quite get that part of the business yet.
Yeah. So what is the biggest change in fashion that you've seen since you started? Because everything old becomes new again. Like scrunchies are cool and neon is back and all the things that I hate.
Yeah. Banana clips are next.
But what's the biggest overall? Is it the quality of clothing? Is it?
I think it's tactile. I think more than anything, it's touch and feel. I think knits are a really important part of our day-to-day wear now versus before. There was a lot more synthetic blends. People want to be comfortable. You know, they want the fabrics to be soft. They want them to be comfortable. That I notice more than anything. And then additionally, there's a lot more androgynous kind of dressing. So it's, you know, it's not so separated. It's not, this is the guys and the girls and the, you know, there's a lot of mixing in that area, which is great because, you know, you wear it how you want to wear it. It doesn't necessarily, you know, things aren't made, you know, aside from undergarments specifically for gender. So So it's nice. It's nice to be able to kind of mix and match that, and still has some femininity or
Or how
masculinity
you style it.
or how you style it. So, but yeah, definitely, I would say it's the touch and feel has
Yes.
changed. There's a lot more knits than I feel there ever used to be in the marketplace, especially now.
Okay.
Yeah, especially now.
All right. You and I have talked about, we've had many conversations about fashion in Las Vegas and how, especially, I would say more men's fashion in Las Vegas, and how there's kind of a lack of fashion for men, especially it's either, so my cousin works at Stitched.
Yeah.
And that's a very niche, it's custom suits.
Yeah.
But aside from that, which is fantastic, there's no in between. It's either you shop at Costco and you have a golf shirt and some khaki shorts, or you have a custom suit. But
Yeah.
where is the in between? So what's the biggest need, do you think, for Las Vegas here locally in regards to fashion?
Well, I think that stems from the workforce. I mean, if you look at Las Vegas's workforce, there's not a large creative workforce out here. I think it's changing, especially with the, people, transplants from California and, other areas, East Coast, but it's the workforce. And when your primary workforce is hotel, it's not necessarily a place where you can express
you're wearing a uniform.
Your individual. Yeah. So it's challenging, because you have to have a little bit of a disposable income to be, who you want to be on the weekends or off time, versus I'm going to buy this and it works, weekend and weekday. But I think it's moving there. I think it's gradually getting there. I think that the younger generation's already there, but they're not big spenders when it comes to, certain brands. For example, John Barbados is a phenomenal brand that couldn't really sustain in Las Vegas. I mean, it was true, it was on the strip, but it's just not what the majority of guys out here are looking to wear to work.
Mm-hmm.
And that dictates what they buy a lot of the time. So you have your suits when you're taking meetings, which are great, and Stitch is great, or you have your golf wear, which just a memo, you can golf and have style. It's totally comfortable. So I don't know, I wish there were more guys that were willing to kind of step out of that comfort. So, I mean, not comfort. I mean, I want you to be comfortable, be who you are, but just out of that mold, because I feel like it's a lot of the same. You can't really. You can look at the patio at Kona Grill on any given afternoon, and it's kind of a blend. It's kind of a blend.
Exactly.
There's no one has their own individual style when it comes to, for the most part, for the guys. So it's tough. We tried, and we've since gotten rid of our men's for that reason. I'd love to step back into it one day. But we need more guys that are willing. I mean, our women are willing, but women like to look cute and, pretty and sexy, and, they want more variety. Guys just kind of get stuck in their comfort zone of, it's easy. This shirt goes with everything, and these shorts fit.
They need Garanimals.
They do, which actually I would be happy if I saw someone in Garanimals. It would be change. It would be different. It would be something interesting. But no, I mean, I just think that it would be surprising to them to what the reaction would be from women, because guys like to get reactions from women. If they just embrace more of their creativity and individuality and stepped outside that box a little bit and just didn't do the typical.
I can tell you, so Turtle, he is he's very much, he thinks he went through the phase where everything had to be Nike, and we were like, come on, dude, you have to, like, you can't just wear Nike, like, can you put on a pair of jeans? Can you put on a pair of something? So we had a wedding to go to in Santa Barbara, and it was in the summertime, and it wasn't appropriate to wear like a suit because he was also young, you know, so a full suit wasn't it. So I talked to my cousin and I said, I'm not getting him a custom suit because he's growing. And so he helped style him. And he ended up wearing, I don't know if you remember the Conor McGregor, he was wearing like the white tight polo, and he had like, I want to say they were like green, like short kind of, anyways, it was very stylish. And so Jay is turtle for those of you watching that don't know. I use it interchangeably. But so Turtle was wearing like these skinnier slacks that had been tailored, that were like kind of like man-prees, if you will, with a white polo that had like these oyster buttons that had a little bit of blue in them. And he had these blue suede shoes and a like boat shoes. And every person there, women, men, young, old, said, who dressed you? And he goes, well, my mom. And they were like, my mom was never that cool, and you were the best dressed person here. And so when you say that they like to, when you take it, like, you know, you don't have to be super extreme.
Yeah, I think they would be shocked and surprised. So many people sometimes are so, you know, oh, I hear it a lot. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. And, you know, of course there's the items that are not for your body type. And I can understand that. That's understandable. But when it comes to like color or like, you know, a capri pant on a guy, it mix it up. It's like, there's no hard, fast rules. And I think that everyone gets in that zone, sometimes that comfort area. And because we don't have a lot of stores out here to offer that, they just, you know, do what everybody else is doing, and they don't mix it up. But I think they'd be shocked at how much positive attention they would get if they just change it up a little bit. You know,
and I think if you when you go into a boutique or you go into a store, if you ask the people who work there, hey, what do you think? Because you guys know better than anybody. And this, I just posted a picture from a couple years ago, a gala that I attended. And I love Carolina Herrera. She is my favorite gown designer, whether it like every year on the awards show, I can pick out her stuff. It's just, I like her style. And so I had this event to go to, and I really wanted to see at the outlet if there was anything there, because I love her style. And I walked into the store I was dead set looking for a red dress because it was for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. So it's blood cancer. And there was this hideous on a hanger, navy blue and green. It was a shirt and a skirt. And I was like, no, I wasn't wearing stripes, and that wasn't going to happen. And the sales lady said, just try this on. And I was like, no, I'm good. She was like, just try it on, will you please? And it's ultimately what I ended up buying. And it was the most beautiful thing I've ever worn. And I would have never tried it on. So from that point on, I knew they know the clothes better than you do. They know what they look like on, because on the hanger, they do no justice. And so I'm a firm believer in going in and saying, what do you think? Like, I would have never tried on those mother jeans.
Yeah. And we're exposed to things. So we're exposed to, in the industry, you know, we're going to market, we're seeing the new designs that are out there, what's being put on the runways. So, you know, we've had a chance to kind of absorb and digest what's going on. So a lot of times when we do, you know, bring stuff in, for example, I have a very, very bright, pronounced lime green jumpsuit in the store right now. And to a lot of people, it's very shocking. And why would anybody want to wear lime green? But it's such a refreshing, beautiful, like, color right now. I just feel like you don't have to over accessorize that. It's easy. It's comfortable. It's bright. It makes you smile. You know what I mean? It's so, I think sometimes if we're not used to something, it scares us. But if you try it, I think it's such a nice feeling afterwards, because it opens up your mind a little bit to what is out there. And then you realize, how boring maybe it
Your
was.
wardrobe really is.
Yeah, yeah. And also just that you can look good in something other than, your reds, your blacks, your whites. There's a lot of option out there. I'm not a pink girl. I've never been really a pink girl, but I will tell you there are shades of pink that I love. But it's never like my go-to color. But blend that with like some orange right now, and it's to me, I love it. I'm obsessed with that right now.
Yeah. So I think that's really my biggest takeaway is like going in and talking to
talking
the professionals.
Yeah, and I understand that being hesitant in some situations, but we do pride ourselves in the store by being very approachable and honest. It's not our goal to put you in something that you look hideous in. Sales are not that important.
Well, not only that, if I look great in something, someone's going to ask me where I got it.
Exactly.
If I look like crap in it, they're not going to say.
Yeah, that does not help us. It does not help us. But there are a lot of boutiques and stores that are very comfortable. But, we get to know our clients. We've known them for years. Like you were saying, we have clients that have literally been shopping at the store since Indra Gray in 2005, since Candy Elephant in 2008. So, we know them, we know their kids, we know their family. We're not looking to, take your money and run. I mean, so we want to build a relationship. We want to dress you for your next event. We want to get to know your personal style and what you prefer and what works on your body type. And we actually buy according to that. Like I really do when I go to market and I go and I purchase for the next season. I think about those customers. I think about
your clientele.
Yeah, what they've said to me and the events that they attend and, their day-to-day life and, things that they prefer not to have on their clothing or to have,
Okay. Speaking of Indra Gray and Candy Elephant, would you ever consider opening a standalone children's boutique again?
Absolutely.
Even though Wolfie's now how old?
That makes me older. He is 9.
He's how old?
He's 9.
Oh my gosh.
I know. But I still look at him like he's 5. So.
He is a baby though.
He loves his mama. So he might as well be 5.
It's time. It's almost time for you to have the next one. Aren't they all like 9 years apart?
Yeah. 6, 5, 6. Yeah, no, right around that mark. We both were very, very careful, Andrea. All right. Someone needs to be very careful.
Yes.
But no, I think we're officially done until I get my grandkids. But no, I would love to have a kids. Kids clothing is so fun because it's just everyone's happy, when they shop for kids clothes. It's not, oh, I've
this is going to look terrible on them.
Like, like women, women are great. They're great shoppers. And I think, and I'm so thankful to have them in my store, but it's much, much more challenging. Women get very down on themselves. They pick themselves apart. They, they're having off days or they're like, oh, I gained 5 pounds or, I don't like my arms or whereas like kids, it's no one's thinking about that. And not only are they not thinking about that, they're not confined to anything. It's not like, oh, purple or, you can't wear, bright yellow. You can't wear, kids are fun and they're free. And, it would be nice if that carried over into our adult life, honestly.
Yes. Hold on. I'm just moving because apparently my gardener is really going for it now. Some of those things you just
you got to make that money.
Control.
Make that money. I think it's a Roomba one too. Is it Roomba? Is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah. No, first I have the Roomba issues, but I got that under control this time. Now I've got, everybody gets to see my wall of crosses.
Wow. That's where she has her seance.
Stop it. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to be in the guest bedroom. Hopefully my computer doesn't die. Okay. So, sorry about that.
Your earrings, by the way. I like those earrings.
Oh, thank you. They were a Mother's Day gift from my son's girlfriend.
Good choice.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
it.
okay.
Let's go get
Okay.
hair up and everything.
Yeah,
No,
slicked back.
Kids clothing is great. I love kids clothing. I love shopping for kids clothes. I love being a buyer for kids clothes. I love my kids clothing reps. It's just a happy thing, dressing kids, everybody. And it's not just one, it's not just the moms, it's the aunts, the uncles, the friends, the grandma, the
Exactly.
grandpa. So it's great. It's nice. I mean, are there days when, when I had Candy Elephant and there'd be like 3 screaming kids in the store and one had a dirty diaper and one, yes. But, at that point I had the same thing at home. So who cares?
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
love kids. So for me, it's all good.
And like you said, it's so much happier. I mean, everybody looks at, like, I love big, fat, juicy, wrinkled thighs, and like the bigger the arms, the better. Like, it's too bad in society we don't just look at someone and go, "Oh, I love that."
Yes, more.
So
More better. Yeah, they're pure, they're innocent, and they just say what's on their mind, good, bad, and otherwise.
Exactly, and that's the best. Like, I think if you start a children's boutique, you should like have a wall of things that people say, like the kids spew while they're in the store, just like a wall of shame.
Yes, I've had that before. Yeah, I've had plenty. But kids, I do miss how it's a definitely a different vibe when you have a mixed lifestyle store where you have women's and kids and gift versus strictly kids. You can get really like youthful and fun with the kids store, whereas you got to kind of subdue that a little bit when you're blending it with adult clothing.
Well, and how do you do that? Because in your store, you have some really great like gifts, and some of them, like, what are those books that you have? Yes, edgy. What are those books that you have? Like the big book of butts.
We don't have those anymore. But I mean, they were a good seller, but we don't have those anymore. But I feel like certain things have cycles too. Like I don't want to be the store that just has that. You know what I mean? But but it was a great seller. But it's just fun and taking life too seriously in general, I think is not healthy.
It's not. I was gonna say it's not good for your health. I always say I take my business seriously, but I don't take myself seriously.
Yeah, and that's I think it's important. I mean, look, I sell clothes. I don't. It's not. I'm not curing cancer. It's not that important, especially when it comes to really puts things into perspective recently. It's needed for people to kind of to let go and just be like, yeah, is this life or death? No, but it makes me feel good, and I don't have to worry about all of this other stressful things. I'm just I'm right now just looking at how cute these shoes are and how pretty they are and how they make me feel. And so I keep that balance, and I like to keep that balance in how I approach my business as well. My approach is not like you have to get this because it looks so cute on you and you would be ridiculous not to have it. I think you should get it if you want to get it. It looks great, but it shouldn't be a high pressure situation.
Yeah.
And it certainly shouldn't be the most important thing in your life. But we all need clothes, right? We all need clothes. We all want to feel good. And especially when you work hard at kind of, at maintaining your health and putting the work into yourself, it's kind of just that next step. If you're working out or you're eating well or you're, cleansing, it's just kind of a part of that. It kind of just embraces everything and puts it all together. It's like the finishing touches,
Well, we were talking, we had a nice little team meeting yesterday because we've all been apart and we've been working from home, and now we're working a little more at the office and whatnot. And we were talking, some of the people were saying how much they've loved working from home because they haven't, they've been able to have meetings with clients without makeup on and hair done. And I'm not one of those people. And it's not because I don't feel comfortable, because me, I run around like looking like a crazy woman all the time.
I'm seeing more than I should.
And I have no shame, but I feel like when I'm working, if I if I have my makeup on, if I wouldn't go to a meeting with no makeup on, then I wouldn't get on a Zoom call with no makeup on, because I feel like if it's a professional thing for me. And
Yeah.
that's just me personally.
Yeah.
Everybody else can,
Yeah.
you do you. There's no, you
Whatever makes
know,
you happy. Just
exactly.
be
But for
you.
me, if I look good, I feel good. If I'm dressed good, I feel better. And then I feel like I perform better. I feel like I am at the better I feel and look, the better
Yeah.
I perform.
Yeah.
And that's
That's
just
true. And
how
that
it is.
is, like I said, is it life and death what we're doing here? No, it's not. But it does make you feel good, and it does complete the package. Like if
Mhm.
if you did, like you said, you had a dramatic weight loss, years ago, and you know, why wouldn't you want to wear something that's more fitted and show off all your hard work, and you know what I mean? So I really feel like I think being authentic is important. Your authentic self,
Mhm.
whether it's wear a ton of makeup, wear no makeup, your hair brushed, unbrushed, you know. But
If it's not brushed, it's in a hat.
but the thing is at least you're putting, put it together. For me, it's just put it together. If, there isn't really a bad style if it's genuine and if it's authentic. So I just feel like I've always made comments, I'll be in Los Angeles, and I feel like the bums in Los Angeles have the best style. And I don't know how that is, but they just, I mean, I swear I saw them wearing like capris, the guys wearing capris with boat shoes before I ever saw it anywhere else on the streets of Los Angeles. But it's just be yourself and whatever makes you comfortable, and don't feel like you have to do or wear or present yourself the way everybody else does. That's what fashion is, and that's
Well, and
what.
I feel like you can tell when someone's comfortable and when they're trying to fit and did. Like if I wore your clothes,
Yeah.
I would not pull it off the way you do,
Mhm.
because you have phenomenal style, but it's just not my style. I
Exactly.
can't do it. Like
Yeah.
you have this beautiful boho beachy hair, and you have, you can just pull off your style. And if like Jade tried to pull off Andre's style, it would be bad.
Yeah. Yeah, and
So it's
it shows when you do that, when you try and tweak yourself too much.
exactly.
It definitely does show. And the real you doesn't really come through. It just doesn't look good. It could
Yeah.
be a great piece, but it's just, if it's not for you, it's not for you. And that is something that I try and do at the store. Is I do try and visualize like the different types of people and how they would wear things differently. But that's the importance of trying though too, because sometimes when you don't try things on, you never know how
Yep.
that would actually look on you. And so I just, I don't think you should confine yourself too much. Of course, go with what's comfortable,
Yeah.
uh, but be open to change. I mean, look what we all just went through. I mean, I can tell you that there's so many things that I will be incorporated into my day-to-day life now,
Oh, of course.
having jolted my, my whole, my life, and so, and it wasn't easy, but I learned a lot, and how we are creatures of habit,
Hmm.
and how changing things up, it gives you a fuller view. It kind of opens your eyes a lot more.
Your perspective changes.
It totally changes. Yeah, totally.
Um, Switching gears, and you kind of, that was a little bit of a perfect segue, but obviously in light of COVID, your business was significantly impacted. Can you tell us what you've been doing during this time, prior to the baby opening? I mean, it's things
Crying,
are opening.
crying.
I'm sorry,
I said crying.
crying.
I'm kidding. There was some tears, but I
I
mean,
think we all had tears.
so yeah, I had tears, and I still here and there do, but I realized quickly that was not helping anyone.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, action's the only thing that's going to really help anyone. So, um, with the help of my husband, we both kind of just, thought, what can we do? If we can't do this, this, and this, what can we do? And we really stopped and thought about our resources, our contacts, our relationships in the industry. And, obviously, the garment industry is closely connected to what I do day in and day out. And, knowing that masks were something that needed to be accessible to everybody, we immediately kind of jumped into that, into PPE. We went to local nursing homes, and we reached out to them when there weren't available PPE to them, hand sanitizers, N95 masks, face coverings, and we said, hey, this is not our typical business, but this is something that we can do. It's we have the manufacturers, we have the seamstresses, we have the pattern makers, we have all this that is accessible to us. So why not focus on that, which will keep us kind of generating some revenue and help people that can't,
it's a win-win. Yeah.
And so we started there. It was uncomfortable, I would say, in the beginning, just because me, I'm not a hard sale person at all. So I didn't want anyone to think that we were, it was
capitalizing.
Yes, because it's not at all what we were doing. We were there to help, and if we could, great. And if they had other, avenues, then that's great too. We just wanted to help people, have access to the safety that they needed, especially in those nursing homes, which were, being affected greatly, and were not, because so many of them were privately owned, were not receiving the
help,
supplies that they needed. Nor were hospitals and such. But so we did. So we quickly came up with several different patterns and options. We're now actually in negotiation with a couple hotels that we can get, and some local businesses.
Yes.
Our own.
Ours are delivered today, right?
Yes, today they'll be delivered today. So we do like embroidery, we do custom embroidery work on masks. We do masks that include filters that can be interchangeable. We have disposable masks that are more friendly to like giveaway or complimentary, turn down service in hotels. Gloves for staff. Things like that, of that nature. So, I mean, I'm not gonna stop doing what I was doing in the past, but it's definitely, it's another, a branch of our business now that we'll probably continue to, to work on and expand, because I don't
for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. I don't think this is going away anytime soon. So, it's good to know that it's still something that's in my wheelhouse that can be applied to today, and that also is meaningful.
Yes, it's not just something, I mean, yes, it came out of probably necessity because you had to have an income during this time, or needed an income, but it wasn't, it's a blessing also. You're able to help people who weren't able to come by these things at a time when they needed them the most. And going forward, they're going to continue to need them. So it helps you, it helps them, and that's always the best way.
Yeah, I drove around in my car many weeks and dropped off masks to my clients' homes. They would either reach out to me via Facebook or text, or the website, and we offered free home delivery. We still offer free home delivery for a purchase of $30 or more. For anything. It doesn't have to just be masks, but we understand that there are people that are still more comfortable being at home. They may have, immune compromised situation where they need to be safe. But yeah, I mean, it's that is something that I was happy to do. It kept me busy, it gave me a purpose, and
Purpose, yeah.
yeah, and it was nice because, you know, when you come from an industry that is, I don't want to say superficial, because it's not superficial. I think it does impact, you know, you feel good about yourself. But when you're dealing with some really hard, heavy day-to-day situations, you know, having the latest trend is not what you're trying to push.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. You know, I wanted people to know that I was still around and I was here and I was slowly bringing in inventory. But that, you know, we're not trying, you know, we understand
Yeah.
that your focuses have changed right now. And when they come back, we're going to be here. But right now we're going to do what we can to help you during this time and keep you safe and keep others safe. You know, and now it's just getting fun. Now I'm kind of like into the mask thing. Like, we're getting creative. We're doing fun prints. There's an actual artist that's we're doing a co-op with a hotel where an artist is actually, their painting's going to be put onto a mask.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think it's, you know, it's like the new handbag, right?
Well, you know what? I really do feel like it's a fashion accessory now, and this is um so I have just some that a quilting lady had, you know, that I ordered. And so I have those like just for my everyday one. I have a leopard one. That's like my go-to one for the most part. And then I found they're actually out of LA. They're a bridal company.
Yeah.
And so these masks, and the price point is really affordable, but these masks are something that you could wear on date night,
Yeah.
like, and feel pretty. But
Yeah.
I got one of them. It's so not me. Um, it's like a white disco ball. It's all white, tiny little sequins.
I love it.
And it's
We have something similar. It's silver sequence. We have black sequence. We have rose gold sequence. We have leopard. We have tie dye. We have
oh,
snake.
okay. I'm gonna have to. I can't wait. I'm gonna have to get some.
We just got some neoprene in pink, lilac, and lime green, because lime green is the color of the season.
Yes, we need like some neons.
Yeah, so it looks great on tan skin. So, you know,
Yes.
yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it's great. You know, it's great that we're able to do that. We have the KN95s, which are fantastic for people who, you know, have to take more precautions.
Mhm.
It's, you know, it's not going away. So
Yeah.
we're adapting, we're figuring it out. And,
And that's
make,
what that's all we can do, right?
yeah.
in
Yes.
in your business, adapting and innovating, that just happens naturally as fashion changes, as the economy changes, as I mean, that's like you said, this isn't new to you. This
Uh,
situation is, but doing this is not new to you.
no, it's not. And I have to say that's probably the best gift I could have had going into this, is dealing with the ups and downs and the constant kind of evolution
Mhm.
that's required in what I do. It's helped me get through things. You know, I refocused.
Okay, and speaking of, what's the future for R&D? Um, well, just what's the future?
So there is something coming up that's going to be pretty exciting. Um, you know, we've had a really good run in our current location, Boca Park, which, you know, everyone knows where Boca Park is, especially if you're on the west side. But we are happy to announce that we are going to be moving to a new home. And it is going to be called Matriarch, our new store, which will be located
Yay!
in Tivoli Village, right down the street from Leone Cafe, which I think everybody knows
It's the
that.
best ever.
That's a staple as well. And it's going to be exciting. It's going to be new. You know, the name really is more representative of where I'm at right now in my life, and how I feel, and empowered as a mother, as a female, as a business owner, as a brand. It's it's where we are, and it was time. You know, I think, like you said, fashion is always evolving. I think that we are too. So we're happy about this.
So what's the is matriarch? What's the concept? Is it R&D just relocated? Is it totally new? Tell me. I've known that this was happening, but I waited for until now to ask you all the things.
Yeah. So we're going to continue offering our our women's and our kids and our gifts, a novelty gift, which is, you know, what everyone really loves about it. And just kind of lighten and brighten everything up.
Okay. So it'll have a different aesthetic.
It'll have a slightly different aesthetic. You know, for a very long time, we were very much about, you know, just reclaiming and repurposing. And now we've kind of evolved into, you know, it's just what is kind of happening now, which is a little bit more lighter, brighter, cleaner aesthetic.
Okay.
So it'll be nice, you know. It'll be, you know, I think it's important. I think when we first opened, I think it was people liked coming in because not only did they like the items, but they just loved this, you know, this sensory of, you know, what we did and the things that we had on display, and you know, the vintage, the antique mixed with the new and the modern. So I mean, it's kind of recapturing that again, and giving a new life, you know, to something that, you know, I think it's just important. I think that, you know, with anything, it's nice to have it's just a refresh.
It's like you're building a new home.
Yes. And it's actually interesting because it's almost like it's like you know, in the ashes here, we're
the phoenix rising.
And we're going to do that. So this was, it was interesting timing. It wasn't planned. But like we said earlier, you make the most of it, right? You adapt and you evolve, and
well, you know what? It's like children. Sometimes they're our greatest surprises.
Sometimes Pampers hold what it's given, and sometimes Pampers don't.
Yes.
So
okay, just a few more questions because I know we're going to run a little bit over, but I don't want to end short. I know that you are so incredibly hands-on. You're the owner, you're the operator, you're the purchaser, you're the cashier, you're the janitor. You are I'm like, Mariah, can I use the restroom? Sure. Oh, by the way, there's no toilet paper.
No.
You do it all. You're the deliverer right now. You are everything. So do you ever see yourself stepping away or stepping down? Maybe like Wolfie takes the reins one day? Because I know it's not going to be Finn, and Gray obviously is not into it.
Yeah, it's not going to be Gray. You know, I don't know. I wouldn't count Finn out. There could be a change of heart one day, but
I would love it I would love to go in there and be like, Finn, dress me. Come on, because you complained all these years about me wearing these clothes.
Yeah, he's more into hair right now, but we'll see. I mean, I think there is an overlap with that, but
did he shave his head in the quarantine?
He shaved. He did a little shaving. He did his own shaving with some dog shears. It didn't pan out. And then he got it worked out later.
Yeah, Turtle shaved his head.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
The mullet's gone, but
yeah. So maybe it's up to them. I want my kids to do whatever makes them happy.
Yeah,
and you know, it could be nothing to do with what I do, which is what I think my daughter is thinking. But whatever makes them happy, and you know, Wolfie maybe Wolfie down the road. But I do like the community of having a store and being able to be a part of, you know, your neighbors' lives. And you know, just waking up and knowing that like it's not overly structured in the sense that you feel like you're just punching in and punching out and going through the motions. Every day is kind of different.
Do you feel at one point like you're not going to be relevant. So I was listening to something the other day and I heard about this bar called, hold on, let me get it right. It was Tramp Stamp Grannies. And do you ever feel like at one point,
Um,
like if you're 70 years old?
that was my second choice. Made sure I figured it out.
I know. I think that Tramp
So
Stamp
that's
Grannies
why
would have been great.
.com.
But you know what I mean? At 70s or I don't see you selling
As far
clothes for
as
70.
branding, yes, no, I don't see that. I don't know that I'll ever grow up like that.
No, I want like, give me the
Yeah.
leopard, give me the sequins. I'm gonna be that grandma.
I just don't think, like we said earlier, do I think that there's clothing that's age appropriate to a certain extent? Do I think there's like patterns or like how crazy you can get with what you mix and match? No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that, you reach a certain age and, you just have to succumb to wearing a muumuu, and which some muumuus are very cute, but
They are.
I don't feel that. I don't feel that. So irrelevant. I hope not.
So you're gonna keep me from being that person because I'm so conservative as it is.
yeah. Yeah. I'll set the example.
Okay. I'm like, Mariah did it, I can.
I'll continue dressing like a 25-year-old. No,
And we'll go to EDC.
go to EDC. But that's how I live my life, though. I don't feel like you can't listen to certain music at a certain age, or you can't like hang out somewhere, at a certain, within reason. But no, I just don't think that there's like the hard cutoffs to that,
Yeah.
appropriate. Yeah. But, wear plaid with stripes. That's what you want to do. Do it, do it all day.
But just make sure they're within the same color family.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Or the wheel, that side of the wheel.
Yes, yes.
And I've got a good brander at home. My husband's fantastic with branding. So I feel like as long as I've got his approval on the branding side, I think there's longevity. Yeah.
Okay. What is one thing you've learned about yourself during this time, and one thing that you have learned to appreciate more?
I've learned that I can do a lot with a little, and I really appreciate being with my family more. Really appreciate being with my family more, and understanding that, take a break, just to take a break, take a minute, and it makes you that much more productive. It really does. I actually have been telling my husband that a lot. He gets caught up in his work and will work for hours, and taking a break to just go do a little exercise. We've been playing a little tennis. It helps you kind of refocus and just relax. And that's important to me. And I am going to be implementing that moving forward. I'm not going to be working as many hours in store, but with all of this that's happened, our website has really kind of, gotten a lot more traffic, which is great, and a lot more sales. So, that gives me an excuse to be home, to work from home and focus on that. And then, kind of balance that back and forth. So being home is great. Being with my family, just the little mundane day-to-day stuff that I know one day I'm going to look back on and really, really be happy that I got to share those memories with them,
Yeah, I feel, we had this conversation yesterday, and I said the one thing that I've learned or appreciate but I've learned to slow down. Like everything doesn't have to be so fast and so hurried and rush to the next, and to stop looking forward and learn to live in the moment. And, Turtle only has 2 more years at home. And while I would never wish this pandemic, I'm so grateful it happened at this time in his life, because I'm enjoying so much time with him. And going forward, I'm not going to work so many hours. Yes, I will still work hard and I will still be just as driven, but I don't have I can be more efficient.
Yes.
I don't need
And
to,
happier. And
well,
happier.
yes, and happier. And I don't have to prove anything to anybody.
Yeah,
And
I
I
felt
feel
like there was some sort of award, right? Like,
it's like this, I think it's this guilt inside, but it's only in my own head
Mhm.
that I'm trying to prove something to
Yeah.
this unknown person.
Yeah.
And
I work
so,
this many more hours if I, absorb this much payroll, if I,
yeah.
it did, if I did it myself instead of outsourcing,
Mm-hmm.
it made me really stop, and actually my husband was telling me this for a long time because, he knows I work really hard and I take it very seriously. And I do guilt myself if I'm not waking up and being productive. Like
Mm-hmm.
productive is like, that's my goal. I wake up and like, what can I achieve today? And what can I
Go,
do?
go, go, do.
Yeah. And then I get really down when I don't, when
Mm-hmm.
I lay everything out and I go to the store and it's a slow day and, I really get down and frustrated. I want to step away from that mindset because I build it up and then
Mm-hmm.
it's almost self-fulfilling where it's not enough,
Yes.
you
Well,
know.
and at the end of the day, if you think about what your legacy is, I don't want someone to be reading my eulogy and say, Chanel worked 60 hours a week. She
Yeah.
was the hardest worker.
Yeah.
That is not what I want. I want them to say
Yeah.
she was a great friend. She
Yeah.
was a great mother. She was a
Yeah.
good person. She was always happy. Not she was stressed the F out.
Yeah.
She was always on the phone with work. I don't, and if I look back over the last 5 years,
Yeah.
you know, so it's really put the, sadly, thinking about, the potential of, catching this and you don't know. And,
Mhm.
it puts into perspective, if I were to die tomorrow,
Yeah.
what would my legacy be? And that's not what I want it to be. And having all this time with my son and my husband, and like I'm going on vacation tomorrow, and thank God Havasu doesn't have any cell service.
Yeah.
And
Oh, and that's actually a beautiful thing too, is
to get to check out.
check out. Yeah, and not feel guilty. And I
And
think
I'm
that's
not.
thing that's an ongoing, that's one of my things that I just have to deal with every day, is just not feeling guilty about working harder. And
Mm-hmm.
it's, because you're right, it's at the end of it all, like that's not, it's not going to matter, having my business closed for 2.5 months. um that was my family member. That's how,
Yeah.
that was where it was. It was as equal to
Yeah.
my family, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And at the time, and it's so not, and it's so not worth it.
Yeah.
I love it. I enjoy it. It's a passion, and I'll continue to do it as long as I can. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, not when I'm going to wake up and not going to be my sole focus every day.
Yeah.
And it'll be better for that reason. I think, like people say sometimes, like when they come in the store, like there's an energy, and
There will be a better energy because you'll be
exactly.
better for it.
Yeah, yeah,
I agree
yeah,
100%. And I think every business person will agree, whether you're a business owner, an employee, or whatever, if you're happier, you're a more productive business person. That's why I said I can be more efficient because I'm happier. If you take those time, that's why you have time off
yeah,
to recharge, refresh, come back. You have better ideas, you're more creative, all of that stuff.
yeah.
So I really believe that. I have two last really fun questions for you, or for the audience, really. And then we're gonna wrap it up. So, what is your favorite piece of clothing? Your personal, in your closet. You're gonna keep it till the day you die, maybe even bury you in it. I don't know, but what is it?
Um, it's got to be something that's oversized.
It's not
Loungy.
your cat suit.
It's not my cat suit, but I love cat suits. I think those are. I had a cat suit. I love cat suits. They need to bring those back. That's a tough one because I've got a few. Um, That's a tough one. I have a few hats that I'm obsessed with.
I still want the hat that you have.
I have a Stetson hat, like a vintage Stetson that I absolutely
Oh,
love, that I would never, it's like 3 times too big for me, but it, I love it. That's got to be up there. And I have like kind of a crochet lace caftan that's like a duster length
uh-huh.
that I think I'll always have. Always,
Okay.
always, always have.
So a Stetson hat and a caftan.
And a caftan. Super sexy. Um, yeah, but that's not, you know me. I mean, that is sexy to me.
Exactly.
That is,
Andre's like, as long as you have nothing on under it, we're good.
I mean, can't get more sexy than that. No, yeah, probably that. Yeah,
Okay.
probably that.
I
I
dig
like,
that.
I like, as much as I love dressing people up that look good dressed up and are more like asymmetrical and like structured. I love a structured jacket and all of that. It's just like you said, like just being genuine to who you
Yeah,
are,
that's just not you.
and it's just not me. I appreciate and love it on other people. I mean, that's probably what gets me going so much, is seeing other people in things that aren't for me. I love seeing it on other people.
Well, you have that vision, so
And I love
that's
it. I love
part of
I
your
love doing
talent.
that. I love putting people in pieces that really make them shine, you know?
Yeah. Like you probably wouldn't wear the neon green jumpsuit.
No, it probably wouldn't be for me, but I know so many people that would look so amazing in that. So amazing.
Okay. What is one investment piece that you believe every woman should have in their closet? Is it like a really expensive great white t-shirt? Is it a designer handbag? Is it a belt? Is it a shoe?
It's
What is
not
it?
a designer handbag for sure. Um,
Great pair of jeans?
I wouldn't even say it's a great pair of jeans. Um, Probably a good, I would say your basics. Like you need your like a good fitting undergarment, like camisole, or there's a lot of versatility in that. Whether it's under a blazer, over under a oversized top, a caftan, maybe something along those lines. Everyone should have a pop piece in their closet too, like something that's just really kind of
Did you
loud
say a
and fun.
popped piece?
Pop, P-O-P,
Oh, I was like, what?
P-O-P. Something that just kind of like, is loud and fun and exciting
So
and
like one like just
versatile.
wow piece.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I think you have to have some of that. I mean, I think a lot of people have basics. It's important to have something that's well fitted. It's a good fit. That's a basic. All your basics should really be a good fit. You should really focus on that. But when you come to like more novelty pieces, you can have fun with it. It could be a little loose. It could be off the shoulder. It could be, slouchy. It could be, but I think it's important to kind of have something that excites you, and maybe something that excites you is something that's navy instead of black, but just that
Yeah.
piece that you're gonna wear when you're feeling it. I think that's
Okay.
important.
Well,
Yeah.
what did Jay say? I have this like really, really bright pink silk shirt that
Yeah.
I was wearing the other day. And I had my
You're
leopard
great at
face
it.
mask.
Yeah.
And you'll appreciate this. This is Big J for the audience, my husband. He goes, "Oh, you're wiling out." I go, "Who
Yeah.
are you?"
Yeah. No, and that's what you should. I mean, because I think that, look, your whole closet doesn't need to be that, but
Yeah.
um it's just, that's not what life is. You don't want life to be,
Sometimes
all,
you're just feeling like wiling out.
yeah, you need to while out sometimes. You look back, and if you're just a bunch of basics,
It's
and
boring.
it's not good. It's not good. Yeah.
Yeah, I have like a super conservative wardrobe, and then occasionally I'll just whip out something and surprise you. You just never know.
Accessories are important too, because you can be that basic person that's very, just more monochromatic or just really likes earth tones, but have a fun pair of earrings, have a
Mhm.
hat, have a scarf.
Yep. Okay. And then the very last question is, what is one piece of advice that you would give small business owners today or anyone that wants to start their own business? Just like the one thing you would tell them.
You really have to have a lot of tenacity, and I'm not saying like I'm the end all be all on that, but I've wanted to quit lots of times. I've wanted to give up, and you need to make sure that you have the support from your significant other or family. And I don't mean financially, I mean just to tell you that you can do it and you can get back up on your feet, because it's challenging. It's really hard. Does it have its rewards? Yes. Is working for yourself and owning your own business easier? A lot of people say, there are pros and it depends on who you are. Do you like waking up and having the exact same thing, in your life? Like, do you like being on a schedule every day and nothing changing and having that comfort of knowing that, you're going to have breakfast at 9 and you're going to have lunch at 12:30? I would say that, it might not be for you.
Keep your corporate job.
Keep your job. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, yeah. I so respect and admire people that can have that consistency in their life. It's great. But it's not, it's not for me. It's just not, it's not what makes me happy. It's not when I wake up and do every day. Could I do it? Yes. It's just not going to make me happy. So I would say just be prepared to fight. Be prepared to fight. If you're gonna own your own business, and especially now, be prepared you have to be a fighter. You have to be a fighter, and you have to be able to make moves with and without. And that is you have to be extremely resourceful.
So you've got to be nimble. You've got to be ready to.
Resourceful, resilient, and nimble.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. I know that right now, especially with the opening of Matriarch, which is June 15th, yes, in Tivoli. Yes. So I know that you're really busy. Yeah. And you're pumping out masks. And if
anybody wants, they could go on our website, which is wearernd.com, if you don't feel like getting out of the house.
Yes, please. And she'll deliver.
And I'll deliver.
So, but they are moving to Tivoli on the same street as Cafe Leone, if you're familiar with that. I had their information up on the screen for the live, so if you rewatch it, you can find it there. Their phone number is 702-750-0550. And then, so thank you again for your time, Mariah. Thank you for all of your insight. Thank you for being such a good friend and a second mom to Turtle. And just real quick, again, my name is Chanel Beller. Thank you for watching Paid. Next week, we will not have an episode, but I am working on a very, very special guest for the following week because I will be on vacation this week. But I am Chanel Beller with WFG National Title. If you're thinking of buying or selling a home, please do give me a call, 702-510-9810. Or if you're refinancing, let me know because you do have a choice in your title company. And I can also refer you to some of the greatest lenders in town. Thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.